good breakfast show.
Welcome back, beautiful souls. It's Monday, of course, kick-starting all the magic of the week, and we're doing it right here in the kitchen. Now, what could be more comforting for a weeknight dinner than some Frikkadels, colourful yellow rice, and a fragrant smoor to bring it all together? It sounds so, so delicious. This is something that's going to be a high priority when you want to make dinner this week. And the folks, everybody else, the family, they're going to love it. And you're to show us how. It's Chef Clem in the building. That's what Monday should be.
A little longer. Yes.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fantastic, beautiful weekend. The belly is hungry, and I'm so looking forward to some new food inspiration from you.
And this is a new dish, but it's a take on such a comforting dish. Frikkadels in a smoochi.
Yeah, it's family food for
This
me,
is
man.
so good. This is like so comforting. It's going to be cold for the next few days. This is how you're going to stay warm.
Yes.
Okay. So first things first, I got a lot of pots and pans going. That's for me, eh? Like, I don't feel like I've been successful in the kitchen unless I've used almost every
Dirty
single...
a lot of dishes.
Every ceiling optional. But, okay, so first things first, let's talk about the rice. Okay, so we're going to make some yellow rice. And I mean, yellow rice, I remember this from like preschool. They used to give you yellow rice and whatever, like a mince thingy, and those sweet carrots.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing is, we've got some basmati rice that we've washed already. That's going into the pot.
Okay.
The yellow comes from turmeric. Okay?
You know, I never knew that. I thought it was yellow rice.
Don't stress, because a lot of people didn't know that.
I thought it just came like that.
No, because you get red, like different colors of rice, not just white. So I mean, a lot of people didn't know that it.
I thought it was like shipped down from India and this beautiful, like the specialty curry rice.
I feel like I'm killing the fantasy now.
You
Okay,
are.
So
you
let's
killed
keep it. Let's just keep it. Okay, it's colourful from India, but turmeric goes in there.
Okay.
And then, do you like it with or without raisins?
Do you know, I like the raisins because I've just been so used to it. It's got that sweetness to it.
Okay.
And like you said, I literally remember the carrots, the sweet raisins in it. It was more like a little dessert /meal for me.
It's just so complex and I love it. Okay, so you can either add the raisins in now.
Sultanas, eh?
Yeah, sultanas, raisins. I mean, the currants, I don't like using the currants because they're a little too sharp.
Okay.
Don't do that. You can either add them now, which means they're going to swell, or you can add it at the end. There's a little bit of a chew to it, but there's enough steam in the rice to still hydrate them a little bit. So I like adding it at the end. The most important thing is salt. When it comes to rice, without salt, you might as well just eat air. Okay?
Wow, what happens is
salt actually, it's what gives it depth, what gives it flavor, and it's important. That's why we actually add quite a bit of salt to rice. But there's a lot of volume in rice, so it doesn't end up being salty. So salt goes in. Because we're being fancy, salted butter as well. It really makes a difference, makes it nice and rich, and I'll keep some for the end. Okay, so rice is going. Then, let's talk about our smoochi. So, this is a nice and simple smoochi. Smoochi should be nice and simple. We're gonna go in with some onions. So that's what you want to hear.
Hot.
You don't want to hear a loud rah, okay?
That's too hot?
Yeah, that is too hot.
Okay.
You want to let the onions go nice and low and slow so you can start developing the natural sugars in the onion. And that way, because we're using tomato, you don't have to add sugar to the mix. So,
getting all the natural sweetness to just come out of it itself, right?
and to help that come out, salt. Okay.
Salt's like a little hero ingredient on its own here today.
It's the hero ingredient. We should all be the salt of the earth this week. We should do that.
We should be the Earth's salt bay.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Onions going in. So I let my onions cook for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Then you see it really starts changing color and texture and becomes sweet, like I said, but we have to fast forward a bit. So garlic goes in next. And
as
then,
much as you're fast forwarding, I think it's very important to pay attention to these ingredients because the smoochi is the life to a lot of the meals when it comes to anything in the kitchen, when it comes to our culture especially. This is something that you can do a lot with, and it binds it all together. It's like the glue of it all.
it is. And like you said, it is the glue of it all because it doesn't matter what you make. Have you ever had a Vienna smoochie?
I've had just smoochie and bread, even,
and it's
nothing else.
And it's a win.
That's how good it is, yes.
And it is. That's the magic of smoochie.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go in with some roasted tomatoes just to make it a little fancy.
Oh,
but now here's the thing. I found that even though we're going to develop some sweetness in the onions, in Cape Town, we like our smoothies a little sweeter. So to help with that, we've got some brown sugar going in.
Do you know I've once had jam put into a smoochie for that sweet?
Because it works.
And it actually works,
It
eh?
absolutely works. Okay, we're gonna go with some whole tomatoes.
I think we in South Africa just like having a little bit of sweetness with everything.
We do. That's the whole thing about those
We're naughty.
sweet carrots, sweet. I was in Montague this weekend,
Oh, yeah?
and we had potjie, but they literally take the sweet potato and they just add cinnamon and sugar to it, and it's almost like candy. You can almost see right through the sweet potato. It's a very South African
Ooh.
thing.
I'm getting hungry, and now smelling of this coming out of this pot right now, I'm definitely ready to chow down. It's not even done, but it's smelling so good.
It's okay. That's gonna cook down. We're not gonna add any water to it just yet because the onions are gonna give off moisture. The tomatoes are gonna give off moisture. It's gonna cook in its own moisture. It'll turn a deep, deep red on its own.
Okay.
But to help it a little bit, because I want to add more flavor. This is optional. A little bit of beef stock.
Some beef stock, all right. That's just gonna like thicken it up, give it more flavor.
Absolutely.
Intensify it.
And it's gonna do its thing. Then, Woolies Frikkadels. I used to get these on my lunch to school. Love, love,
You
love.
got Woolies Frikkadels for school.
I was raised right.
Wow.
I was raised right.
Well, you
Look,
won. Were you the guy that everyone loafed off of at lunchtime?
everybody had lunchbox envy because I got the best packed lunches ever, ever, ever.
Your crew was bigger. Everyone was hanging around you for the chow.
Absolutely. Okay. Woolies Frikkadels are amazing because you can actually see the texture in there. It's not like pasty. You can see the meat chunks in there and you can see the fat. That's the difference. And
the difference is the fact that you just pierce the film and open it up. You
Oh,
don't have to sit there with your mince and getting everything to bind and start making the little balls and going through all that effort. So you're saving yourself close to what, in my opinion, would be like an hour.
So it really is, yeah. And then you're still seasoning. There's seasoning in here already.
Is it already seasoned?
The Woolies traditional seasoning
way.
is in there. So that's done for you.
Your moms, I might never be making frikkadels like you again after Woolies is full. I'm sorry to say. This is way easier.
This is so easy. Okay, those are gonna cook. If you want to make your own frikkadels, the Woolies does have beef mince,
Yeah.
pork mince, chicken mince, even turkey mince.
Oh, wow.
Like the mince is like it's happening
So
there.
you can get your frikkadel on all
And
week.
because it's locally sourced, it's never frozen on the journey. It gets to you at that stage. I mean, the worst thing is, again, we joked about this last week, and your mom says take the chicken out the freezer and you forget.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
these are
time.
never going to be frozen because it's so fresh, it's so delicious.
Beautiful.
Right, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Rice is going, okay? The thing is, as soon as the water comes down to a boil, you turn your heat down, okay? Lid on, and we're gonna let this steam in there. That's all it needs.
Okay, so
When
that's
it's
done. That just
It's done.
steams, all right.
This is just gonna cook on its own. So during this time, you go make yourself a cup of tea. This is gonna cook down. The onions are gonna go super soft.
Let that bask in its juices, and then
You can
meat.
see how nice and rich that that sauce is. Then all you want to do is just, very important, set your balls on fire.
Set your balls on fire.
Okay.
I love it.
That's optional. So once you get that nice color on your frikkadels, then you put it in the smoochi, and then you cook it in the smoochi. So then they take on the flavor of the smoochi as well. And here's the thing with smoochi. It tastes better the next day.
And
it
the
tastes
next
better the
day,
next
and
day
it just
after
keeps
that.
absorbing,
Yeah.
absorbing.
So
and
what I recommend is make a big batch of this, serve it for dinner now. Tomorrow, you just toss some pasta through there. It's a new dish. On the third day, toasted sandwich with frikkadel, smoochi.
Yes, please. That's how we do it. Serving you up on a Monday, of course. All the inspiration you need to get the midweek or the week's meal started. You can get the recipe on woolworths.co.za, woolworths.com for all the inspiration that you need for this one. It smells good. It tastes good. It's going to last more than one meal. And you found it your first espresso show. Chef Clem. .co.za.
Because we're local, like our frikkadels.
Oh, yes, of course. Woolworths.co.za. You found it your first. It smells so good. I'm going to tuck in. We'll see you soon. Yes, Clem. Well played.